Hey, what's going on? This is your coach, Trev Bucheri here, and it's Mindset Day. I love Mindset Day, so I'm super pumped, and I've got a really cool exercise for you today. It's called the Best 90 Days Visualization. Now, this is an exercise that I actually use as I'm working out. I do it in between my sets, pretty much every workout. This is one version that I use, and I also use a gratitude exercise for it, and I kind of rotate back and forth. But I use this all the time, and this is something you could use in a fashion like that, or you could say, hey, you know what? I've only got 5 minutes. I want to get my mind right. I could, give this a 5-minute version. I could do a 10-minute version, a 15-minute version. It's actually designed to give you the ability to dig into whatever level you need at that particular time. So I think it's best that we actually just dive in here. So this is talking about, imagine if it has been the best 90 days of your life. What does that look like? And then once we actually do say, what does that look like? Then we say, okay, great. Let's go to that specific place. Let's just say it's been 90 days and it's been the best 90 days of your life. Everything you imagined, happened in every particular area you were looking to actually focus on. How do you feel? What's that feel like? What's changed for you? All right. How has that benefited your life? And we're going into that. So that's really what we're looking for here. So it's really all about, the purpose behind it is guiding our energy, all right, and guiding our thoughts, which our thoughts are the creation of pretty much our outcomes at the end of the day, in the direction of where we want to go. All right, so we can actually visualize, the positivity. We can visualize the accomplishment, visualize it happening, and we focus on that, as opposed to focusing on the fear and the glasses half full. This is focusing on what we want rather than focusing on the problems. All right, this is focusing on what we want, because so much time is focused on what we don't want and what we don't want to happen and what we're afraid of happening, right? So this is focusing on what we want. So let's dig into it. It's 3 simple questions. We're going to expand on these just a little bit here. Again, best 90 days visualization is what we're getting into. So first things first, let's just say that you are going to radically change your life in the next 90 days. That's what this is going on the first question. You're about to radically change your life in the next 90 days. All right? And you can focus on anything you'd like and put your attention onto it, and it's going to change. What do you want to focus on? What do you want to focus on? So here, this, you can say, well, maybe you have something specifically that's popping into your mind, but maybe you don't. So we can head into the 7 areas of life. So we could say, do you want to focus on spiritual? Do you want to focus on mindset? And you could say that's synonymous with personal development or mindfulness. Do you want to focus on money? And just put down money. Do you want to focus on family? Do you want to focus on work? Do you want to focus on your social area or your physical area of life? Where do you want to focus on? What do you want to focus on? So maybe, let's just say we're going to choose, I want to work on my mindset. I want to work on my family. I want to work on my work. I want to work on my physical. Okay, let's just say that's where I want to go, and that's why this is so beautiful and why you can do it so frequently, because things that we want to focus on in our goals change. Would you agree? Absolutely, especially when we accomplish a goal. When we accomplish a goal, we also want to replace that with a new one, right? So hence why this best 90 days. Once you complete the 90 days, great. Let's do it again, and let's actually create a new best 90 days. And now maybe our focus wants to be somewhere else, depending upon how you did. All right, maybe it's a repeat. Maybe you're expanding. All right, but depending upon that. So we've done that. We figured out what do we want to focus on. Great. Now we're actually going into the visualization. All right. So how I like to actually prepare for this is I like to actually, when I'm asking myself these questions, I like to actually go into them specifically individually. And I like to actually close my eyes as I'm doing it. So when I'm in between my sets, I say, okay, so I've got a minute break. I've got a minute break in between my set here. I just did a set of bench press or push up or whatever it is, a pull up, and I've got a minute break, and I go through and I say, okay, great. Now, imagine it has been the best 90 days ever for my mindset, for my personal development, for my own personal growth. It's been the best 90 days for my personal growth. What has changed and what has happened? All right, specifically for my mindset, my personal growth, my mindfulness. It's been the best 90 days, in that specifically. What has changed and what has happened? And I write all those out. I just write them out just on my notepad. Just again, so I can get confirmation. What does writing out do? It gives you confirmation. All right. So what else has changed? All right, boom. So we go through the entire list. Great. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually, instead moving on to the other ones, I'm going to actually answer the next question. So I'm going to bring this through to completion. So it's been the best 90 days, for my mindfulness, my mindset, my personal development, and here's all the things that have changed and that have happened. These are all the different things that have happened during that particular time. Now I'm going to ask myself the same question, and again, eyes closed with this one here, and I'm really going through the visualization of it and letting myself sit in it so I can feel it. It has been the best 90 days of my life that I could ever imagine for my mindset, for my mindfulness, for my personal development. Here's all the amazing things that have happened. Now, how do I feel? How do I feel? What's it make me feel like? You know what? I feel gratitude. I feel humbled. I feel empowered. I feel inspired. We're looking for descriptors like that, action words, of what it makes you feel like. Where is it? We want to get in deep here. I feel certain. I feel certain. I feel confident. And by being confident, I feel alive, and really just going through and labeling what you feel in that moment, because you're visualizing and you're visualizing all the different things that have happened, and you're saying, what does it make me feel? What does it make me feel? Man, it makes me feel excited. It makes me feel ready. It makes me feel prepared. Okay, all these different things that it makes me feel in that moment. Again, you're going in and you're feeling all these different things that have happened, all these things that have changed, and you're like, wow, that makes me feel prepared. That makes me feel confident. All right, and you're building them up. And that is it for mindset. So it's almost like, boom, we got mindset done. Great. Now, again, we're talking about the areas we want to focus on. So, wow, we just empowered the heck out of mindset. And we're like, wow, all these things, if only I do all these things, this is the result I'm going to get. This is the connection we just made here. Now we move it on. All right, imagine spend the best 90 days ever with your family that you could ever imagine here. What has changed and what has happened? So we go through and we list all these different things. So I'm spending more time with my kids, spending more time with my spouse. We went on a family vacation. We have, specific, date nights with the kids and with the spouse, and we're doing this and we're doing that, and my patience has improved, and so on and so forth. Great. So we get all those marked down here. Then we say, great, it's been that best 90 days and all these things happen. Now go there in your mind, visualize it, visualize yourself living those out and experiencing those and enjoying those. Now, how do you feel in that moment? Man, with my family, I feel rejuvenated. I feel like a restart. I feel humbled. I feel inspired. I feel gratitude. I feel, love. I feel acceptance. I feel whatever it is for you in that particular area. Just go into those moments and feel how it felt to actually be in those moments, those improvements, and then just explain how it's going to be feeling here, the emotion that you're feeling, all right, and the action that you're feeling there, all right, and that does it for family. All right, then we're going to go through this particular example, do the exact same thing for work. All right, so, and again, I'm just going to kind of rip through this one here because you get the point. All right, so it's been the best 90 days ever at work. What has changed and what has happened? This has changed, this has happened, this has changed, this has happened. Now we're going to take these and transfer them. Now with that best 90 days, I want you to go in there and I want you to visualize all these things happening. I want you to live them out and feel them and feel what you're actually feeling during that and then define it. How do you feel in those moments? Man, with my work, I feel empowered. I feel confident. I feel like a part of a team. I feel, ready. I feel prepared. I feel, and the list goes on, and you continue. Boom, and you complete that one, and then work is done. Now, what about areas of least importance? All right, well, again, our values change at any given time here. So these answers are always going to change in any given moment. You could wake up tomorrow and say, wow, you know what? This is no longer important to me right now. Now I want to focus on my spirituality. Or you know what? I almost lost a friendship yesterday. I want to work on my social area of my life right now. That's important to me that I really put some focus on. Here's what I actually see as the best 90 days and the things that have changed here, and here's how it makes me feel. So again, it gives me confirmation that yes, I am moving in the right direction. This is where I want to put my focus on. So this is a great way we can get our goals in alignment to what we want to focus on and what we want to actually happen specifically in those areas within a 90-day period of time. And there it is. So hope you got a great amount of information about this. I love this exercise. It's something that I do, again, very, very frequently. And how I do it, in case you're wondering, again, is I'll actually go through to completion with each one of these things. And again, however many sets it actually takes me. So I'll go through, I'll do a set, and I'll come back and I'll start off great. It's been the best 90 days. What's changed for my mindset? What's changed? What's changed? What's changed? Let's say I get through 3 or 4 of these things, and it's time for another set. Go back and do another set. Okay, I review these. Okay, that's changed. Add a couple more, add a couple more. Yep, I'm exhausted. Time for another set right here. Then I come back and be like, okay, so I go back into these, I start visualizing them, I say, how do I feel? And I start listing down the how I feels. And maybe it takes me a couple rounds to do that. And then I move on to the next one. And I basically go through that exact same cycle. It keeps my workouts focused, it keeps them inspired, and I'll tell you what, when I get these answers and I go and do those sets, when I'm actually going through and talking about here's what's changed, here's what's happened, meaning here's what I want to be focusing on, here's the things that I'm going to actually be focusing on and putting a plan together for, oh my God, I get so inspired and amped up when I go to my next set. I literally am increasing my strength. I've totally noticed that as well. So just a side note. But anyways, your coach Trev Bucheri here. Hope you got a ton of value out of this today. Thank you so much for watching. You have an incredible rest of your day. Take care.